Welcome back to Adventure and Repeats. Glad to see you here. Today we're working on this 2018 Polaris RZR. This is a turbo model, so this does apply for non-turbos, but we're going to talk about how to diagnose a fuel pump issue on these itself. So first thing you got to do is get the passenger seat out. So if this is a four-door, you've got the rear passenger that needs to come out, or if you've got a two-door, just simply the passenger seat itself. Once that comes out, we get access to the cover and start working through the process. With the rear seat off, you can see right here, this cover needs to come out. It just simply is popped on right there. And then you've got the other cover right there that pulls off, and that comes out of the way. And this is the fuel pump itself. So being a turbo model, this has two fuel lines. Instead of just a normal pressure line, this also has a return line. So you have to make sure you get both. So there is a difference. First thing I always like to check is, does it make noise? Does it actually get power? So first thing you can always do is just go turn the key on. So right there it tells me this fuel pump is getting power itself, and I know that it's got power. So if it doesn't have power, then we'd have to go through and check to make sure it has voltage. So the way to check for voltage is pop this apart, and then we can probe one of the pins to make sure we got power and check for voltage. Shows right there we had 12 volts, so it's showing power up to that red wire, so that is showing it working like it's supposed to. Now with most automotive stuff, you'd be able to then go check for fuel pressure to make sure it's actually building enough pressure on these. So these are supposed to have 59 psi. Well, you can take an automotive gauge, but the Schrader that they normally have, these don't have a Schrader on the rail. So the only way to do it would be then to take a fitting off and then be deadheading the pressure. So yeah, a pump could probably make deadheaded 59 psi pressure, and it might be able to hold it, sure. But the challenge you're going to run into from there is it going to keep making that pressure throughout the RPM band, especially when you get to the higher RPMs. Usually when a fuel pump's starting to fail, you'll notice that as you get to the higher RPMs, it starts to cut out and spit and sputter, and it's just not making enough. It seems like it's just falling on its face. That's usually an indicator that the pump is starting to go bad. The vanes aren't pushing the pressure. So at idle and things like that, it can be making the 59 pounds like it needs to. But once you start getting to the high volume side of it, it's starting to run out. That's usually when. Testing for fuel pressure, yeah, you can test at deadhead, at idle, or just even keying it on, and it's probably going to make pressure, and the way it's going to be, then you're going to be going, well, now what's the problem is. So that's going to be where the challenge is. How I test the fuel pressure on these is it running and cutting out as you get to the higher end. So I've got voltage, it's got power, it's kicking on, but I'm just running out of fuel with this. So unless I want to make a jerry rig and make some inline fittings and go dink around with that, I'm just going to go buy one and be done with it, because if I'm questioning it, I want to replace it, because I don't want to have these fail when I'm on the trail, a long way from home, 100 miles sometimes. So I'm going to leave a link in the description for a pump that works for this, that I use for myself. There's many other options out there. You can go right to the dealership itself. The big key difference is turbos have a return line, non-turbos don't. So that makes it a lot easier to find for non-turbos versus turbos, but from there, that's really all there is to diagnose and test for these. Beyond that, the next thing is for checking the fuel level gauge itself, and I'm going to show you where that process goes. So if you're this far in testing, you want to check to make sure this pump is in there properly. So this pump has been on a couple times and it actually moves around here. So I know it's not been installed properly, because this actually takes a special tool to get in and out properly, because these do need to be torqued in. You can use a regular filter plier wrench to be able to get this out. But from here, you want to pop the clips off, because these weren't put on properly either, and take these out of the way, and then that will allow you to get the fuel lines off and work those off and get them both off, and then we can use the tool to get this lock ring out next, because that's how we're going to test. We're actually going to pull this pump out all the way, and we're going to actuate the arm to show how it works and to make sure the fuel gauge is working properly. Now we do have a towel handy, because there is going to be a little bit of fuel spillage right here. So we can get these on there and get this underneath. And then you can actually use this to, see, that was way too loose. I shouldn't have been doing it by hand. So if you're looking for this tool itself, I'll make sure to leave a link in the description as well, so you can do it yourself and do it properly. But yeah, that's all there is to getting this fuel pump out. And we'll pull this out all the way, and then pull this pump out. And comes out just like that. And we got a nice full tank of fuel. And this is the arm right here that we're going to test to see and make sure that it's actually operating properly. Because if this float isn't floating properly, or this arm is bent or in the wrong spot, you're going to always have a fuel reading that's never correct. Because if you get to be all the way down, because this one shows if it was all the way down it'd be out of fuel, but you're not at the bottom of the potentiometer, so you'd have to be all the way up. And on this model, we would always have issues with it not showing full. So it'd be always down here, which shows we're going to test to make sure and see that the potentiometer is working properly. You can see right here, this is your pressure fuel line, which is the black one. And down here, the white one is your return line. So now to test this, we're going to simply just reconnect this connector. And then this is where you got to be careful because it's going to have a little bit of fuel spitting out. So you want to use a rag to keep it condensed right there. So when we key it on, obviously it shows it's working. But we're going to watch on the fuel gauge. Fuel gauge is right there on the far side. It shows we're at half, but my potentiometer is all the way down. Now I bring that up, I'm at halfway, it's showing nothing. And we're not seeing any change on that fuel gauge at all. So that's not good. That shows it's having an issue right there. So that potentiometer is not working properly. And the only way you can either replace this or just get a whole assembly, and what we're going to do is get the whole assembly because that shows it's not working properly, and that's very loose, so it can actually lose contact. So it's actually making contact, it's not working properly, it's not showing it changed at all. That shows how easy it is to test and check and double check to make sure that these fuel pumps are actually working properly in these RZRs. So turbo and non-turbo models are different, but the step-by-step process for verifying it's working properly is exactly the same. So we're going to go put a new pump in this and get it back up and running so we can go back on the trail. So hopefully you can like the video, comment, tell us what you think, tell us what you hear about, and subscribe. We got a lot of great content coming, a lot of great content on the channel, so be sure to check it out. Remember to have a great adventure.